Yo, what's going on, everybody? Looks like we are live. And so thank you for joining me for this unboxing. These books were books that I'd sent in during C2E2. Um, and yeah, I mean, they came back in relatively good time. I know CGC, their turnaround time has gotten a lot better. So they're here. But before I show you the books that I got, you know what to do. Hop on that train, take a journey with me. All right, so we're back. And, you know, just I know there's a lot of shows going on right now. Obviously, there's never a good time to jump on live. But, Matt, thanks. I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate the support. I said it's not a large unboxing. It's 9 books, nothing like crazy. Because I know there's always the 25 50 book pre-screens and all these crazy submissions, stuff like that. Nothing like that. But I mean, there's some decent books in here, but at the same time, these are also for sale. So a lot of these books I sent in because I thought they had a good chance at a 9.8. Normally when I'm submitting books to CGC for resale, I try to pick out the highest books possible, right? I mean, that's usually the only time that I'm really concerned with like a 9.6, 9.8, stuff like that, is just because of the resale value, right? Especially with modern books, you get books that are 9.4s, 9.2s, whatever. Unless it's a super key, they normally tend to like drop off the cliff, especially modern book when 9. If it's anything less than a 9.6, the value just drops. And sometimes you get better value out of it selling it raw than you do graded, especially modern books at a 9.4 or something like that. Even sometimes 9.6 is not even worth it, which is kind of sad. I mean, like I said, I know there's plenty of shows going on and stuff like that. So I'm just going to get into the books, and I will reveal the prices because I did look online for the grades because I wanted to do some research and have values associated to them already, because this is a claim sale as well. So if you do see one of the books that you like, the price is right, let me know, and we can work something out, right? So hi Leo, what's going on, brother? Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, exactly. And it's tough, right? I understand. I mean, obviously it's a business. They want to capitalize on making more money because that's what they're about, right? They've noticed that obviously more and more books keep getting submitted every year. As much as everybody complains about CGC and CBCS, and then they complain about all these third-party graders, and they complain about quality control and all these things, and yet a bunch of books still get sent in. So I understand the complaints on both sides. Obviously, as a consumer, I want the best quality for what I'm paying for, and as a company, they should acknowledge that. But at the same time, they're gonna still profit off of it and make some money. And if they're going to increase their prices and people are still going to go for it, for them, they don't care, right? They're just going to keep increasing prices. I don't see them ever, going back down, right? They're not going to drop, even if a bunch of us stop sending books to them, right? They'll probably cap their prices and hold it for a year or two or whatever. But eventually it's going to start going back up when, they start getting inventory back. So it's just going to happen. It is what it is, right? It's the business. And again, I've been sending books into CGC, but most of the time, like for instance, this, I tend to send books in that I know I'm going to sell, that hopefully get high grade. And then the ones that I normally keep are signature series books, right? So I do have 4 books right now, 2 currently already at CGC getting graded, and 2 more that should be getting there at some time. So I've been on a kind of books that I'm tending to keep are the ones that I'm, getting signed, and then other books that I'm getting graded are probably going to be for sale, unless it's just a key issue that I want to keep. Other than that, you know, uh, I need to move books to either pay for other things in life, or another book that I want in the PC. So it is what it is, right? Um, yeah, and for the most part, CGC is pretty good with their customer service. At least their service is pretty good, right? Their customer service has gotten better as of late. I think they kind of understand a lot of the complaints and stuff that they were getting, so I think they're getting a little better with that. But we'll see. Right? As long as people keep not complaining, but they keep bringing up issues that they have with them, hopefully they can be better about it, right? If you want to command more money for your service and product, your customer service needs to be there as well, right? So it's only fair if we're paying for something. So with that being said, here are the books right here. I said I know I already looked at the grades, but I'll hold them off for you guys, and you could kind of take a guess at what it is. Like I said, it's 9 books, and some some key issues, some first appearances. I'm gonna go based on what I had them listed down here as far as my research goes for price. And so the first book up is essentially, and I do like the new little baggies. They're actually a lot thicker, and they're not as flimsy as the ones before. So I kind of like that. So the first book up, let me just make sure there's no there's no cracks or anything. It's just like little dust bunnies. It looks pretty good. And the first one up is, oh, Jesus, that glare was crazy. So Wonder Woman 184. This is an Adam Hughes cover, and there's nothing significant other than it's just an Adam Hughes cover, and it's just iconic cover with Golden Age Wonder Woman meeting Modern Age Wonder Woman. So that was pretty cool. And all these books I pressed myself, so I was hoping for good grades. And the first one is a 9.8. So I was happy about this one. Wasn't sure. This one I actually had to press twice. But definitely happy this one came back. Yeah. So this was I love this cover. I actually have 2 copies of this. The other copy, I don't believe it's going to be a 9.8, but I just kept that for the PC just to have, because I just like the cover, and I figured the highest one can go in and they can command a decent price. So this one is going to be 180, and it's going to be goods and services. So there's no, the whole, people getting stiffed on things and the friends and family, and if you want to do friends and family, that's fine. I can do that, but for just the sake of whatever the post office does something or whatever, we can do goods and services. But if you prefer friends and family, we can always do that. Obviously, if we know each other, you trust me, we can do that. But and then I want to say we'll just add $15 to each one for shipping, and I'll pack everything nice. So whatever the prices that I just said, add $15. But that was 180 for that one. So that's the first book right there. And I tried to be somewhat reasonable with eBay prices or whatever, stuff like that. Obviously, if we're doing it here, there's no premium because of eBay and stuff like that. So that's why it's a little lower than what you'll see on eBay. So hopefully, give people a good deal. All right, the next one. Let's see. Okay. All right. So Next one is again another book that I thought, had a chance at a pretty good grade, and that is right there, Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur #1. So first appearance of Moon Girl. The TV show is actually pretty good. If you haven't watched it, it's different art style, but it's fun, right? I mean, it's a nice family cartoon. Your kids will enjoy it, so definitely check it out. Give it a chance. And this one came back a 9.6. So yeah, yeah, pretty much. So like I said, I mean, if I know the person and they're comfortable with doing friends and family, I'm okay with that. I just want to give people the option of doing goods and services just in case somebody else sees the video and they see it and they want to get a hold of me. Um, I just prefer it that way. But again, if I know the person and we don't want to have any fees or anything like that, and we trust each other, then I'm all for doing friends and family as well. But so this one was a 9.6. Like I said, I thought this one had a chance at a 9.8. Of course, no graders notes because it's over a 9.4. But like honestly, it looks pretty good. I can see just maybe there's like slightest color rub by the staples in the back, so it's black. Um, you really have to like kind of put it in the light and look up close to see it. But I mean, I'm guessing that's what dinged it. And because it's a 9.6, I'll do 135 on that. And like I said, well, maybe I didn't say. Reasonable offers are accepted as well. Nothing like, hey, if this is $100 book, I'll give you $40 for it. Like, obviously, but reasonable offers, I'm always accepting. My rating on eBay. If you look at the books that I have, everything is a buy now best offer, and I think maybe 95% of the things that I've sold on eBay were me accepting a best offer or sending out offers to people. So. Next one up is, all right, hold on. All right. So the next one is a pretty tough book to find, and it is Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur #7, and this is the 1 in 15 variant. And it's Brigham is the artist. So it's a 1 in 15. Pretty tough book to find. There was something that I just couldn't press out. I just didn't have enough time. It might be able to press out again, but it's still a tough book, and it came back as a 9.6. So again, a tough book to find, and I'll take a 9.6 of this book. It's a hard one to find. And even if you do find it, even raws are pretty pricey. So what's going on, John? Thanks for stopping in, brother. So yeah, again, and I believe this is a first appearance as well, which it doesn't actually say on this one. It says that it's a variant, but it doesn't actually say. I believe this is the first appearance of Kid Kree. So it's a first appearance as well as a tough variant to find. And for 9.6, again, I'm going 400 on this one. I know it's pretty pricey, but yeah, I mean, if you look on eBay, I believe there's only like one listed, and I think it's a 9.8, and it's like $650, something like that. So, so 400 on this one. And like I said, it's just a tough one to find. And a lot of these, like 1 in 15 Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur books, her run had a lot of really good variants, and they're really tough to find because not a lot of people were ordering these ratios for Moon Girl. They just weren't reading them. So, they weren't, they were tough to come by. Yeah, and like I said, she has a lot of good covers, but a lot of those ratios, like the 1 in 10s, 1 in 15s, they're very tough to get, but they're actually like really good covers. So I definitely dug them. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. You mean, like I said, I try to, you know, if I'm gonna submit books to sell, I want to have some good books, right? So the next one up is another book that really this book spiked. I know it might have took a dip because of movies or whatever and stuff like that, but that is uh, Ironheart. Oh, hold on 1 second. We have a special guest in the house, and that is my man BLC. What's going on, brother?
What's happening? What's happening, man? Just drove away from New York.
Oh,
I made it in
damn.
time.
Yeah,
I
you
just
got to be tired, man.
yeah.
So
I
it's what like so you got, well, depending on traffic and everything stuff like that, what, like 2.5, 3 hours?
just about
Yeah, right. Yeah, so yeah,
Oh,
it's
John, how's everybody? John with kids.
yeah, man. Yeah, so just showing off some books. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That one right there. That's not leaving the PC ever. That's getting passed down to the kids.
What, the Avengers?
Yeah, Avengers number 4, for Silver Age Cap, and is signed by Stan Lee.
I got that other one next to it, the one with the Doom.
Okay, yep, yeah, the
Yeah,
25.
I got that one.
Yeah, that one's one that I wish I would have been able to get signed, but yeah. Oh, Perry, what's going on, brother?
So Perry. So Matt Woods.
Yep, Matt's in the house. Yeah. So,
Pennsylvania.
yeah, the next book I was showing was this guy here. So another book right there is that guy right there. So it's Ironheart number 1, but it's the second print. I want to say they made it a ratio variant. I want to say it was like a 1 in 25 or something like that, or 1 in 50 when it came out. And this was another book that, again, not too many people were ordering it, so those ratio variants were tough to find. Got this one on a whatnot sale, actually.
Okay.
And pressed it myself, and it came back
9.8.
9.8.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this, and then these are one of those tough ones too, that when you get these black, purple back covers, they stack all these books on top of each other just like that. So you always get that color rub down the spine next to the staples, and it's always tough to get a 9.8. The front on these white covers tend to be a little easier, unless there's like some smudging, because it's white. So even if you have a crease, they're kind of tough to see. But yeah, I have this one. Oh man, I lost my phone. I had everything written down on my phone. So I had this one for 400 as well, for 9.8. So yep, but that was a good one. Like I said, I tried to do at least a pre-screen of the books beforehand, just to at least have the potential for 9.8, especially with modern books. To try to resell a modern book, if it's not a 9.6 or better, usually you're probably just going to break even, or if not, you're going to lose, because a lot of times a 9.4 in a modern book, you can sell it raw for more sometimes, because people are potentially, they have that potential of saying, oh well, if I clean and press it, maybe I can still get a 9.6, 9.8 out of it. Whereas like if it's already a 9.4, they're like, maybe I'll crack it, maybe not. And CGC, anything pretty much 9.2 or 9.4 above, they don't give you graders notes. So
but again, sometimes you got that that chance where, if send it back a 9.2, you crack it open, you repress it, and then you might get a 9.4 from a 9.2 to little upgrade. It happens. It depends on the grader you get too. These graders, I don't know. It's like if they're in a bad mood, you're gonna get bad grades. If they're in a great mood, you
Yeah.
might get good grades. You just never know.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things too where even 9.6s, right? I mean, some people crack them open, don't even do anything, just resubmit them, and they come back at 9.8.
9.8. It all depends
it's
on the graders. Yeah. I'm in that situation now where when I get a book signed, especially a modern book, I'm looking for a 9.8. When it comes like a 9.6, 9.4, it's still a near mint book. But and then you look at the book and you're like, there's no grader notes, so you have no idea what they saw that's flawed. And then you're looking at it and you're like, you don't find nothing, you don't see anything. You're like, what can it be? There's no answer to that. And then like, should I crack it? Should I resend it? And some people do. Some people get either the same grade, or sometimes you do get that little bump.
Yeah, I know it. That I think that's the one thing that's a little frustrating with like CGC, CBCS, whatever, is whenever you get these high grade books, right? But it doesn't hit a 9.8, and you get like a 9.4 or 9.6, and there's no graders notes, and it's like, okay, so you're telling me that there was a defect,
right?
But it's not enough for you to actually put a comment, or at least give me some kind of note saying why, right? Hey, there was a spine tick in the back, or we saw a fold in the inside of the book or something, but give me something to at least let me know, all right, this is why it wasn't a 9.8. And they don't.
Exactly. So you could see for yourself what they're talking about, what it is. And if it's something worth of you cracking out, to repress it and get that 9.8, at least you know what it is. But if you don't know, you have no idea what the clue is. And again, like you said, some people don't even repress it. They just send it back and they come back at 9.8. You're like, what's going on?
It's so crazy because you can look at it and you're like, the only thing, once it's sealed, right, you can't look in the inside anymore. So the best thing is like, okay, I look on the side, I look in the top, look in the corners, and if everything looks clean, you're like, okay, then it must be something inside the book. So it's like, if it is inside the book, at least note that and just say, hey, we found a defect in the inside of the book or something like that, because then that's when somebody's going to try to buy it and say, okay, I can crack this and resubmit it, and then it might come back the same grade, and it's because there's something inside the book that they didn't notice. Which, again, it's one of those little pet peeves that I have with the transparency that is just not fully there.
Yeah, I would think it would be very rare that it would be the inside of the book, because like you would think, okay, if it's inside the book, like what? Okay, maybe there's a signature. Again, it would give you that information. If it was a coupon cutout or a marble stamp missing, anything like that, they would put that on the label. They will give you that information. So I would say most of the time, that even though it's no grade note, I think it's something to do with the outside of the book.
The outside.
I would say the outside.
I know. It's just so frustrating.
You just never know with CGC. It's surprising.
You really don't. You really don't. Like, you just have to catch them at a good time. It's like, I feel like it's one of those things where like once like con season kind of like slows down, because like obviously in the like springtime and summertime is when you have like the most cons, it's the best weather and all that stuff. The most books get submitted. I feel like maybe they're a little more cranky. They have to work in the summer, and there's so much stuff that you kind of get those crappy grades. Maybe if you send it in so that it's going to be on the off season, they get less books. You never know. But
taxes, their wife cheated on them, the car got hit, the kids crashed.
Anything.
It could be anything.
Seriously, you just woke up on the wrong side of the bed that day. It's like, what? I'm giving everybody 8s.
Exactly.
All right, let's see. The next book we have. Okay, so this is the next book I got on the list, and
these are all books that you sent in. They're not from C2E2, right? These are just books that you bought that you sent to get graded.
Yeah. So I had these just from doing hunting, buying stuff online or whatever, and they're just books that I felt had a chance at high grades and had decent resale value at those higher grades. So it was just like 9 books. And I said nothing too crazy, because sending in 25, 30 books is pretty damn pricey. So I was like, I don't know if I can afford that right now. But this is the next book right here.
What we got here?
And Spider-Man #1, but this is the Humberto Ramos 1 in 25 variant. Or actually, it might actually be a 1 in 30. It was like random. This one had like random ratios for it.
I would say 9.8.
And this one came back a 9.8. So got this one. I actually bought this at Rhode Island Comic-Con like last year or 2 years ago, something like that.
Okay.
And some guy just had a bunch of books laying around. Didn't really know what he had, and this was one of them. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take this."
Well, you're pretty lucky because where you're at in Massachusetts, you can go. You know, you got your cons in Massachusetts. Your Connecticut's right there. Rhode Island, New Hampshire. You know, they're like really. I mean, it's like a real corner spot that all the states are not too far apart. They're really close together, so you get to go to all these different states in the area that you're close to.
Yeah, we we normally have like we have one in Boston here. They definitely the ones in Rhode Island. New Hampshire is not too far away. You know, even if I wanted to go to New York or something like that, like they're all, you know, fairly close. You know, few hours driving distance, but yeah, I mean it's actually not that bad. But yeah, this was one that was there. I was like, and the funny thing is, I had this book before.
Okay.
And I had it signed by Humberto Ramos.
Did you
and,
really?
It was a 9.8 as well, and I sold it, you know, years ago, and I'm like, why did I do that? But found it again, got it graded, wasn't signed, but you know, still a 9.8. And I think I have this one for it was 9.8, so I want to say I had it for 325.
Wow.
I want to say, yeah. So, like I said, I try to, you know, do eBay last sold and stuff like that, and then I'll kind of like knock off some bucks. Obviously because it's not selling on eBay, it's not the premium, so I'll knock off a bunch. But you know, and like I said, you know, if I'm willing to, you know, entertain deals, if somebody wants to throw out an offer, unless it's, you know, like, hey, that book is, you know, $300, I give you $100 for it. You know, reasonable offers are accepted. So
yeah, Hallie, a Comic Bros in the chat.
Yep. Rangers lost. Yeah,
I know. They just flatten out, man.
Dude, that
hurt.
That was the like winning the first two games on the road in Jersey, and then just getting decimated at home. Like when you could have easily just like split and probably could have taken it in 5 or 6, and they just completely fell apart.
Game 3 really hurt because it was a close game. They only lost 2-1, and that was after that they just went flat. And then when they came back on the 6th game, they looked good. And like, all right, are they going to show up again? And they did not come back in the 7th game. They were just dead.
Yeah, it was
hard.
That was bad.
It was
that was bad. But it's probably still not as bad as Boston being the number 1 seed with the best record ever and losing to Florida. Which, I mean, and Florida's playing great. They just beat Toronto in the first game of the second round. So, I mean, they got all the momentum in the world.
In hockey, who's the hottest team in the playoffs? Who can turn it up, or who's playing, who's clicking? That it has happened before so many times. You know, you just got a team that all of a sudden is just playing hot hockey, and it's like they look unbeatable. Out of where? I don't know. All of a sudden they just started playing great.
Yeah,
you know? It just happens. The timing's right.
Oh, it's nuts. It's crazy. All right, let's see.
Matt Wood loves your book. He said that was a killer book. Elliot says, "Let's go Panthers."
Yeah. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Let's go Heat. Yeah, see, they got Florida all up in there, you know.
Hey, listen, Panthers right now, you know.
Yo, in baseball, Tampa Bay's playing pretty damn good too. So Florida teams are playing real good, but
they're killing it.
Knicks are gonna take out the Heat, so you know.
I can't.
With that flame. So
yeah, I can't go with that one. I gotta go with my Knicks.
Yep, I'm sorry, Knicks, baby.
Gotta go with my Knicks.
Gotta go with Knicks.
hey, you know what? It's the only sport where you can get into a fight, you get 5 minutes, and you're back in the game.
Ain't that something?
That's awesome. So the next book, let's go back to this. All right. Next book is this one right here. And this is Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows #1, but it's the second.
Okay. I don't think I got that book.
It's the second print.
Second print. Which volume 1 or 2?
This, I believe, it's 2017. So I want to say that's volume 2. I want to say it's volume 2.
I'll find out.
Because it's 2017. Because I think the first volume was 2016 or something like that. But yeah.
Let me see the cover. Let me find that out.
Yep. I want to say this was
that issue? No, is that issue #1?
Yep. Issue #1, second print. And so Ryan.
I don't see it. I don't see it volume #1.
Yeah, I think it's volume 2.
All right, let me check volume 2.
And this one came back a 9.6.
9.6.
So not too bad. I thought it had a chance, an outside shot at a 9.8. But it's one of those things, right? You do your best, you press it as best you can, and you like you said, you hope for the best.
That's a segment cover, right? Ryan segment.
Yep. Yeah, it's the second
print. Yeah, it is volume 2.
Volume 2. Yep.
Yeah, and it is a key book.
That's what I thought. It was.
Yeah. First appearance of Anna Mae Parker as Spiderling.
Yep.
Spiderling. There you go.
Yeah. So this was one of those where obviously with like the Into the Spider-Verse movie coming out, this was kind of like a heavy Spider-ish submission, just because again I try to like feed off of that, right? There's going to be so many spiders in that movie. I was like, how many first appearances or ratio books or variants I can get in there?
And that's the second print you have, right?
And this is the second print.
The first print looks just like it.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's the only thing I could think of is, I know it says second print down here, but I want to say the blue, it's white in the first print, I think.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
So,
I see it. Yeah, I see the difference. Yeah.
Yep.
The first print is white. I'm going to try the
white.
second one has the blue. Yeah.
The blue. And this one, I want to say there is no copies on eBay that are graded. There might be one second print, and it's like from Canada, and they have it listed for like, I don't know, $60 or whatever the hell it is, or something like that, for a raw copy in Canada with like $20-something shipping.
Really?
This, like I said, this came back at 9.6. And I don't know if my thing is a little screwy.
I collect that run, but I ain't got that book.
Yeah. And like I said, this one was tough to price because there's nothing. So it's a 9.6. I mean, I have it listed for $225 just because it's a second print thing. It's pretty hard to find.
But it is. I try. Like I said, I collect that run and I have that book. Anytime I try to grab any of them, because there's a lot of great artists on that run. You got Tyler Kirkham, you got Art Germ.
Yeah, this was a Ryan Stegman cover.
Yeah, you got Stegman, you got J. Scott Campbell in this run. Delato's in this run. I mean, there's a lot of great covers in this run. Yeah, so I don't have that one.
Yeah, so I got that one for $225. But yeah, I just, like I said, I went with the spiders just because the movie's coming out. They were hot, and I knew I had some books.
How many books did you send in?
This was a nine book submission.
Okay.
So I submitted 9 books, and then at the same con at C2E2, I submitted 2 for signature series. So those are actually, they've been graded and they're getting encapsulated. So I should be getting those back.
Mine,
hopefully sometime next
I
week.
just got an email. They just shipped my books from C2E2. Signed.
Okay,
So mine's on its way. They should be here by Friday.
nice.
Yeah. So
Yep,
can't wait.
I
don't know
know.
what the days are. I don't want to look, but then none of these books were pressed. So
Okay.
it's a gamble.
Yep. All right. So the next one, this is a fairly bigger key for a spider, and that is Amazing Spider-Man number 10. This is the first Spider-Punk.
Well, which volume is this from?
This is so 20 it's 2015. This is this oh man. So
What
it's the
issue number
Spider
is that? What issue
so
is
it's the
that?
Spider-Verse one. So it's 2015. This is issue number 10.
Issue number 10. All right, so it definitely ain't gonna be number 1. That's for sure. Maybe 3.
Yeah, so I know this is the one. Who else is because this run, issue number 9 is actually the second appearance of Spider Gwen. So issue number 9 is the second appearance of her. Number 10 is first Spider Punk. I think number 12 is another like kind of key book like that. Almost that whole run.
Is that like a second printing or no?
Nope.
Okay,
just
so
very first
I found it. All right. Yeah, first appearance of Spider Punk. This is volume number 3.
Volume 3. Okay.
Volume 3, yeah.
Yep. And
Coppola,
this one,
Oliver Coppola cover.
yep. And this one came back a 9.6. So I thought it had a chance at a 9.8.
Yeah.
But again, I'll take a 9.6 on a modern book, especially on a key book. And he's more. I'm pretty sure he's going to show up in the Spider-Verse movie
Eventually, yeah.
So that's for sure. He's a pretty popular character. Funny thing about this is I actually found this at a flea market.
Did you really?
Yeah. So found this at a flea market. Thought it was in pretty good condition. Pressed it. Like I said, I'll take a 9.6 on this.
You do your own pressing, huh?
Yeah. And this one I got for $100 because it's a 9.6. So.
You mean selling wise?
Huh?
Selling price wise?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that one's 100. So it's a nice, key book. And I feel 9.6 is a respectable grade.
Again, no grade enough to say what's a 9.6. That's the thing.
Yeah. So I said it earlier. The new like baggies that CGC put in their books in. Mm-hmm. I actually like them.
They're thicker, yeah, I know.
They're a lot thicker.
They're a lot better than the other ones.
Oh, the other ones were just flimsy as all hell. All right. Here's another first appearance. This was another book that, again, thought it had a chance at a nice high grade, and that is Avengers 257, First Nebula.
I know I got that book. I know that book.
So it was the first Nebula. Picked this up at one of the LCSs around my neighborhood, around here. Got a good deal on it, and I think she's gonna be a key member going forward in the Guardians movies. And I dig her character. I think the actress that played her is doing it really well, and she's just a cool character, right? She has a lot of depth to her, and I figured, why not? With the movie coming around, I was like, yeah, good time. And it got
I would say I was about to say 9.6.
It got a 9.6. I said, had a chance, but again, book from what 85?
Yeah,
not bad, but
See, even though that's a modern, it's in a modern tier. A 9.6 still respectable grade, for those books, because back then, remember, those books were on a rack. There was no bag and boards back then. You know, so when kids took them home, they either were in a brown paper bag, and there's always a chance of getting the tick. So a 9.6 is a respectable grade for those books. You know,
Yeah.
it was tough, man, because I remember them. You know, used to be everywhere. I used to buy them, and you know, it's
Yeah.
hard to keep them brand new. You know, when you have them in
Oh
your
no.
hand.
Yeah, it was tough. You know, long boxes and short, those things weren't really, you know, around like that.
I had milk crates. That's what I had. I had
Exactly.
milk crates.
Whatever you can find that actually
And the
fit
milk
it.
crates, they stack up, you know, they interlock.
Exactly.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So 9.6. I have this one for $100 for 9.6. So
That's good.
like I said, I try to be, you know, as fair as I can be. Right. I'm not trying to, you know, squeeze the hell out of everybody. But so, and then the last book of this lot, and then I'll do a recap at the end. But this one is this is interesting. It's a variant cover, one that, you know, is not around too often, and it is Secret Avengers #3. It's a variant cover. I believe
Okay.
it's Rags Morales. This was from 2014.
I know I don't have that book.
I think it's I want to say it's volume 2 of this run. And this one right here is a 1 of 1. There are no other books graded. This is the only one on the census.
Okay. All right.
The only one, not of the grade, the only one, just one.
Wow.
And it is
9.8.
a 9.8.
Perfect.
So if you look on the census for this one,
there's only one, and here
this
it is.
is the only one. So when you see a 9.8 there, this is it.
Wow.
The one book that's there.
Matt says, I just bought a 500 book collection from the early 80s, stored in regular boxes, wrapped in cellophane, 10 books per wrap. The book are decent, high grade shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's inventive for back then. Remember, there was no back and board. Basically, you just if you had a box and it was perfect to fit the books in, you know, stuff like that. You know, like we used to use like sneaker boxes or shoe boxes for baseball cards.
Yeah.
There was no sleeves or anything, so you used to put them in those. You know, you used to put a rubber band on them and used to put them in the box. You know, that's how we used to keep. I mean, you know, it was tough, man, trying to keep that stuff.
That's exactly what I had. I had a bunch of shoe boxes just full of baseball cards.
Yep. So it's what we used. You know, it's what we had. You know,
that was it.
Now you got everything.
That's crazy. And it's funny because there's been a lot of older collections, or, you know, 80s, 70s, where you know, there was really no like bags and boards, stuff like that, and people got creative like this, right? They wrapped them up, and as long as they did it with like they were saying, like 10 per book or like 10 per pack or whatever it was, and they did them the right way, a lot of those books actually stayed in really high grade. Just because the way they were packed, they weren't like really stacked on top of each other. They kind of like preserved them, and they're like, okay, we're gonna do 10, we'll do this, but yeah, that's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Nice. Congrats, man. Hopefully you got some good books out of it, man.
Yeah, 80s. Yeah, hopefully you got some great stuff.
Yeah. So like I said, and again, this was another one that, again, there's no sales data because you just don't see them. I believe there's a couple of raw copies on eBay for, you know, $50, $60, $70 or something like that. But this is the only 9.8, the only graded one. Literally the only one. And I have this one for 400.
Wow.
Just because, like I said, just the rarity of it, you know, just, and the fact that it was just hard to quantify. Like I couldn't look up any kind of sales data.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's the first one on the census, the only one on the census, you know.
Especially now, man, the prices are great and getting books graded now keeps going up. I think they went up like 3-4 times. Like it just recently went up again. I mean, and I know for a fact that it's not like they're not getting, it's slowing down, that people are not sending books in. It's an increase. They're getting more and more books getting
Oh,
in
yeah,
there.
absolutely.
They jumping on ship right now. Us as well. They keep sending. The price went up. We're just gonna raise it again, and they
Exactly.
keep sending more, and then you raise it again. And they keep sending more.
That's
The only
it.
time you're gonna see it go down is when nobody sends them books. And
Exactly.
then they're like, well, we have to drop the price because we need you guys, to send
Just to
books.
come back. Exactly.
But it ain't gonna happen because we're stupid and we keep sending more books in.
And
So, and I'm guilty.
oh no,
I'm guilty of it. You know what I'm saying?
I said the same thing at the top of the show. I said the same thing. I was like, it is what it is, right? I mean, unless it comes to a point where like nobody sends anything in, which that's not going to happen. They're a business, right? And they're going to jump on and they're going to capitalize whenever they can make money. And if they see that, people they're still piling books in, they're making money hand over fist. They're like, oh, well, they won't cry about a $1 increase here, a $2 increase here. And as long as they keep doing that every so years, by the time you know it, all of a sudden it's like, hey, we're paying $35 a book. We're paying $40 a book.
Yeah, but they learned from their mistakes this time because they corrected the time lapse before they raised it.
Yeah.
They did it with modern first, then they caught up on the economy, which that was like ridiculous long, almost a year. They fixed that problem before they raised it. So this way people didn't have something to complain about. It says, oh, why am I paying extra if the service sucks? So this time they learned from the other times. It says,
oh, absolutely.
Let's catch up, fix this problem, then raise it so they can't say that. Which they finally was smart enough to do. But even again, also CBCS, remember when first CBCS came out, everybody was like, oh, their grading's better, price-wise, time-wise, everything. They said, but give them time when they start to get to that level of books coming in like CGC. And sure enough, all those books started flying into CBCS. Then there comes the problems. Books were missing, grading didn't look good, they raised the price. So basically it happens to every business. Once they start rolling in, the mistakes are going to come up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Even they increased their business, CGC's business, still getting tons of books coming in. It never affected them. It never slowed them down.
No.
So they like, we got competition, but you know what? We still got tons of business.
Yeah.
So
no, they were still on top. They weren't too concerned. They knew they were going to be okay. With any business, like you said, there's going to be some competition, some new whatever is going to pop up, and they might take a little sliver of the pie. But they knew what they had. They knew they have the just the longevity of being in the business the longest time, having that notoriety. People are going to stay with them regardless. So they weren't too concerned. And then obviously, like you said, once CBCS kind of like started getting the same kind of like treatment, where it's like, oh, okay, instead of them grading maybe 1,000 books a month or whatever, it jumped up to 10,000 books a month, 15,000. And they're like, oh shit. And then all of a sudden it's like, now you start seeing the little defects and the flaws and all this stuff. And then they fell behind. And, then all of a sudden their turnaround times, which was normally better, all of a sudden became worse. And then people were like, well, what the hell? Like, now you guys are just as bad as CGC with the, turnaround times. And now you're asking for more money. And they were like, okay, so that turned off a lot of people. And once CGC,
that incident where they lost somebody's like 40 books, 50 books, they disappeared. And they took it home or something. I don't know, it was a big thing going on. So that did not help.
No, not at all. And then, like you said, once CGC caught up with all their stuff, caught up with their backlog, and then all of a sudden their turnaround times just kind of like just plummeted. It went from, like you said, 80, even the modern books were taking, 50, 60, 80 or whatever craziness, to drop it down to 20. Economy went from damn near a year, to what, 40, 50 or whatever it is. So definitely that helped them, like you said, before the increase, fix all that before, and then people have less things to complain about, right? So
that C2E2 order, the signature series, right? According to my CGC, it was received on April 25th and mailed out May 3rd.
Okay.
Which is like short, massively short.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, I mean, usually they charge you on your card, your information before they process your book.
Hmm.
I got my bill, and next, it was already done and mailed. I'm like, what the hell just
Yeah.
happened? Everything just
Oh
happened
yeah.
one shot.
Yeah. No, it was I think these were April 24th is when they received them, and I just got them yesterday on the second on so
Yeah.
it was pretty damn quick. Once they received them,
Hmm.
they were in receive for a couple of days, and
Yeah.
then they were ready for grading, graded, and then packed up. It was like, holy crap! Like, nice.
Well, I just sent in 20 books to get graded before the price went up.
Before,
As
yep,
long as as long as you did the paperwork,
yep,
before the date. And then these books I got back from Erod, so I did a video, uh, books pressed by Erod, and these were the 20 books, 10 modern and 10 economy. I always send them like two different ones, and I always do a video because you heard nightmare stories of people. Oh well, that was my book, and that wasn't there. That stain or that the rip or the tear.
yep,
That's
yep,
not my book. So that's why I do my video, and I do each book, and
yep,
I take a guess of the grade, and I look at all the defects and stuff. And then when I get the books back, the same defects should be. And I say, well, sure enough, most I have no issues. Most of my books that I sent in are my books that I sent in, so that's why I do the video. But I sent in 20 books before the price went up. And Era just let me know that he just finished pressing another 40 books of mine, so I should be getting it back soon.
wow.
Yeah, I have no idea what these 40 books are. I lose track because he's got tons of my books that I keep sending to him.
You just keep
Um,
sending
yeah, sometimes I forget. There was one time I was looking for my Fantastic Four 112. It's that Hulk and Thing
Yep,
cover.
yep,
Yeah, and I was like, I know I had one. I'm like, where the hell is it? And I couldn't remember where it was. And then the reason why is because I was at a con, and E-Raw was there in Jersey, and the guy was selling one graded already. So I'm debating, should I wait for mine? But I don't even know where it is. I know I have one, and I don't know what grade it's gonna be. I'm thinking, because I'm trying to get that at least a 7. This guy was selling a 6.
okay,
And the guy offered me a great deal on it. So, and I was like debating, shouldn't I? And I decided, hell with it. So I did. So I bought it. And then finally one day during one of the shipments that Erod pressed, sure enough, that was my 112. It came in. So I sent it in, got graded. And believe it or not, that one came lower than the 6.0. So thank goodness I did buy that 6.0.
okay,
Because that came out high end and I got rid of the 5. So,
yeah, nice.
it worked out great. But sometimes I forget what I send them, and that's why when I do those videos, I'm like, oh man, why did you send this? Why did I pick that? There must have been a reason. I don't know why.
Yeah,
But you'd be surprised some nice books that I send them, and when they come back, I'm like, oh, okay. Time
nice.
to ship them out.
That's crazy. That's a lot of books.
And people always ask, why don't you have Erod, mail to CGC or CBC? Because he can do that, and he has that discount code. But the problem with that is he puts it under his account number, and I can't see nothing.
And you can't. Yep.
So I want my books, and plus I want to do a video on it again to show my books and everything. I put it in my account. I know how to pack it. I pack it and send it myself. So this way I can track it, see it myself, and I know it's going to be shipping because you have to assign for them.
Yeah. Yep.
So I use UPS. So
Okay.
FedEx, no. No, stay away from FedEx. I'm sorry, because there's nightmares with FedEx.
Yeah.
They're horrible.
Yeah, I've had some issues with both UPS but yeah, I mean, I know FedEx has there's been times where FedEx is like, oh, we came to drop off a package and there was nobody home. It's like, no, I was home. You never rang the bell. You never did anything. You just drove past my house. Like, you got my shit. Like, come on.
I was in the room sitting here right now, and I was babysitting my grandson with me. Okay, this was during the winter, and it was snowing outside. I know the delivery is coming, but I was like, I'm home, this and everything. But even if they ring the doorbell, I can't hear it because I'm only in the second floor, one side of the house. The door is like in the middle and the other side. And if I'm in here with the door closed, I can't hear the doorbell, right? But I heard something slam, so I look out the window because this is the front of the house right here. I look and I see the UPS guy leaving. I'm like, oh, my CGC order. So I run over, I grab my grandson, I slap some clothes on him. I put him in the car, and now it's like massive snow out there. So I'm like driving, trying to find out which way he went. And luckily I found him. I actually found him. He even says, yo, how'd you find me? I said, yo, by luck. And I got my package because I
That's
was
funny.
not waiting another day.
Yeah,
And I
that's
want
funny.
my books. I want my CGC books.
Yo,
Oh
it,
man.
it's like that, man. When you get that notification and you say they're like, hey, we're coming on this day, we're like you're waiting. You're waiting. Like I need to be here. I need to be here. I gotta sign my books. I need these books. I can't, because I always feel like if they wait another day and they sit back in storage, or they take them out of the truck and they throw them back in the truck, and something's gonna happen. They're gonna toss it. I'm like, just give me my shit on the first day. I don't want it to go back into storage.
I'm telling you, so I have my UPS account, and you can actually go in there, sign in, and authorize them to leave it on the porch, even though you're home. So this way, they'll leave it there, and ain't nothing gonna happen here. But if I'm home and I hit a truck or whatever, or I just go downstairs and I see the box, I'm like, I look the window, oh, there it is, So it's good, I do UPS. I don't like FedEx. I don't like FedEx at all. Too many nightmares.
All right, I'll do a quick. Just gonna do a quick recap. I'm not even gonna take them out of the plastic.
Highlight yourself.
Yeah. I'll just leave them in there. So Secret Avengers number 3 is the variant cover, 9.8, only one on the census. So you take a look at that. Only one graded on the census. Not even just 9.8. Only one graded. We got Avengers 257, First Nebula, 9.8. Or 9.6. This one was also 400. I'll say the prices again. This was 100 for the First Nebula, 9.6.
I agree with you, Matt Woods. Yep, pre-scene is a great option, and it tells you where to leave the package. Like if you want it to leave at the garage door, the back door has options. So you have your options of telling the driver where to leave your package.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Next, we had Amazing Spider-Man number 10. This is the first Spider-Punk, 9.6, and I had that one for 100.
So all these that you got graded, they're not PCs. They're just selling stuff, right?
Yeah. These are all. So the only ones that I'm actually keeping are the Signature Series one. Those are mine.
Okay.
Yo, what's going on, geeks?
Oh, is that the ones that's coming? You mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the ones that are coming are the Signature Series, and those are mine. The Signature Series are the ones I'm keeping. And we got the Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, Volume 2, number 1, second print.
Spiderling.
And the first Spiderling, or first. It's like, and it doesn't even say it on here either, which is, I don't like that they didn't notate that.
Yeah, that should be, it should have that information.
Yeah, but there is a first appearance in here. It's a second print, 9.6, and I have this one for $225. And like I said, you look on eBay, and some of these are really tough to find on eBay. You got Spider-Man number 1. This is the Humberto Ramos variant, and it's a 9.8. And this might be, because this is the first one. This is not Spider-Man 2, it's Spider-Man 1. And I believe this was like the first meeting of Miles and Peter or something like that. There could be a minor key with this as well. But it's a 9.8 on this one. And I have this one for $325.
What's up, Geeks and Drinks? Says hey.
Yeah. Here's another one that's pretty good. Ironheart number 1, the second print, 9.8. And I got this one for $400. And obviously you can go on eBay and see the prices on some of them. Definitely way lower. Poor man, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, poor man? Poor man's comic.
And
All right,
we got,
this one I didn't see. Okay, Moon
yep,
Girl.
Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur number 7. This is the 1 in 15 variant.
Okay.
Another pretty tough to find variant with these Moon Girl books. And I believe I had this one for 400. And yeah, I think there's only one other one listed on eBay, and it's a 9.8 for like 650. We got Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur number 1, first appearance of Moon Girl.
I haven't seen that book yet.
9.6.
All right.
And I think I have this one for I think I had this one for like 100.
I don't know. I didn't see this book. You
I
can go
think
back to the videotape later.
Yeah, I whatever the first one was, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I said 100. And then the last book, or the first book, was Wonder Woman 184.
Nice. Look at that.
Adam Hughes cover, 9.8.
I
had
like
this
that.
one for 180.
That's dope.
So
9.8 too. Oh shit.
Yeah.
What when did book come out?
This one came out in 2002.
2002. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So that was the books. Like I said, you know, people go reach out to me here, put it in the comments. More than likely, these will all be listed on my IG. I have a IG sales page, and they'll all be listed on there. And I'll list them there first. You know, give them a little time, and then after that, they'll probably get thrown on eBay. So you know, they'll be cheaper on Instagram, obviously. So if you want to scoop them up there, that'll be a better deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my books. That was the unboxing. You know, hopefully had some good books. And like I said, you know, even if you don't want them, but you know somebody that's looking for one of these, you know, shoot them my way.
Matt Wood says, "Great show, great books." Yeah, man.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, I try to you know, put some books that, you know, either are, you know, some key issues or some first appearances, some rare or rarer, you know, harder to find, like ratio variants, just good covers. You know, I try not to just send random books, I guess. I mean, if I'm trying to complete a run of something that I want to get everything graded, that's fine. But if I'm trying to sell books, you know, it's easier to sell books that people know, people see, or just a book that people never saw and they're like, oh shit, what's that? It's like, I've never seen that one.
Yeah, I grade almost anything. I get a lot of jokes because I for some reason, well, before I even got on YouTube and I was sending books to get graded on my own without pressing anything, I was just sending anything, you know, any books that I had, you know. And so eventually, you know, I decided to get rid of them. You know, there was no key books and this and everybody was making fun, you know, saying, "Oh, you got any more Action Comics?" Because that's what I had plenty of, and it wasn't really worth anything. But you know, they're all gone now. I mean, I still have the raw copies and stuff, but I got a huge collection of Aquaman still. Yeah, bigger than the Action Comic, but that's to me it's a favorite character of mine that I like, and that's why I graded a lot of the books, Aquaman ones. And the funny thing is, I don't have like the volume 1. I have his books, but I haven't seen any of those graded, you know. But I got like all the other volumes, but I never got to them. I didn't have them. I bought the Aquaman books later on, you know. So I didn't have those books. But yeah, so usually I try to complete the runs. Like I did Marvel Premiere Iron Fist run. You know, I sent all of my copies and doubles and triples that I had, you know, kept the high ones and sold all the lower ones. That those went quick. People bought those up like crazy. And Iron Fist title itself, I completed that run. Again, I did the same thing. I upgraded and that went fast. I did completed the Nova run.
Okay.
That was 1 through 25. If I upgraded, then I sold the lower ones. I sold all my copies on that. There's a couple of titles that I actually finished. short ones and stuff, and some that I'm doing. But I did start sending older books, more Bronze Age, Golden, Silver Age, I should say,
Okay.
and to get done, because I was always sending, only up to 1975. I wasn't really sending any of the older books, but then I changed my mind. I said, you know what, I might as well. And then I just went all over the place. I just started sending a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this title, it just really started getting on the hand, and I'm like, okay, I really have to you know, start pinpointing some books down.
Yeah.
What Matt says.
Yeah. No rules on what books to collect or even what books to grade, man. That's right. Collect, read, slab, whatever makes you happy, man. Exactly.
So I asked this question in the beginning of the year. Will I break 1,000 slabs this year? And majority of people said yeah. And I don't know. I'm in May, and I'm up to 956.
Wow.
So I don't know, because I should have been closer to 1,000, but a lot of books that I got back did not come back. The grades are light.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of getting rid of them, or I'm thinking of cracking them, repressing them, or or adding, especially a signature book. The only way to get that book, is to add another signature on it,
Okay.
and then come back as a signature, and hopefully that grader will, make it. What happened? What did he say?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't done it yet. I haven't broke the record yet, but I'm close to it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think I'm in the. I mean, I did sell quite a bit of slabs that I had, but I was probably in the 250-ish range. But yeah, just never got that high.
Yeah, I'm looking for. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it, but I got bad luck with Amazing Spider-Man books. Every time I send them back, they look. I'm not getting the grade that it's supposed to be like. They come back lower. I don't even know where they are. I got so many slabs here. I don't know. I know it's around here somewhere. It's in one of these boxes. I got them all separated. But I'm getting rid of this one here.
Okay, so Surfer.
Yeah, I found a higher grade. It's hard to find this title.
Yeah.
Because they're on the back wall, but they ask for too much, and I'm not paying that much money.
Yeah.
I try to find them raw in the boxes, and I keep finding the last issue numbers, but they're low key, but they're still ninth grade at 5.0.
Oh yeah. Well, all those, but that whole run, the 16 issues, they're all square bound, so they're tough to keep in good condition.
Yeah. And here's another title that I started hitting. I'm trying to complete Tell Suspense issue 58 to 99. That's when Captain America got a title. So that's a lot of run. And I'm trying to get a 7 or higher across the board.
Okay.
And I keep getting 5, 6. You know how many 6.5s I got with white pages killed me on my last one I had? I'm this close to 7.0. And not only that, they will come back white pages. I'm like, oh my God. Wouldn't it be nice to have a 7.0 white page instead of off white to white? And I'm like, so I got this one here. This is a 5.5.
Okay.
That one's gotta go. Then I got this one. Here's a 6.5.
Okay.
So it's so tough, man, because I refuse to spend money, high money on a book where you're thinking it's gonna come back a 7 and it comes back a 6. And then you're like, oh man, that's disappointing. But I'm paying for books that it's low price where it should be a 6, and I'm trying to get to that 7.
Yep.
So it's like I'm going the other direction. I spend less, trying to get my grade instead of spending more, and then the grades come back less, and then losing out.
Exactly.
He goes, I'm so far behind you guys. I have just slightly 100.
Hey, I mean, like I said, it's grading is tough. It's expensive, and I know there's people that don't like it. There's people that do. I'm half and half, right? Like I have a crap ton of raw books, as you can see behind me, and I have a lot of slabs. I have some slabs here. Hey, I like them both. There's no wrong way, right? I mean, you want to get slabs, you want to get slabs. You want to not get slabs, then don't.
I
Whatever. It's
when I
right.
started sending my books in, because I completed Captain America 100 to 400 and something. That was my first run I ever completed when back then, and I always thought to myself, because Captain was like my number one favorite hero, and I always was gonna send my Captain Americas to get graded, my number one thing, and it didn't happen that way. I ended up somehow it changed, where I didn't even send the Captain America book yet. I mean, I have one. I mean, I have some now, but I started sending X-Men. I got this hooked on the X-Men run with Chris Claremont, and I just kept buying and buying X-Men, X-Men. And Matt says he just slightly has over 100. I got about 112 X-Men alone in that title. It's I got a nice collection of X-Men. I believe like 100. What issue number 144 or something like that. From there up, it's a 9.8.
Okay.
Anything, and then anything from that down, I'm accepting from let's say issue 102 to 144 where I left off or whatever, 9.4s.
Okay.
And let me tell you, it is not easy getting 9.4s from that down. It is tough. 9.4 is still a near mint book. People don't understand that. I understand people want the 9.6 or 9.8, but I'm happy with a 9.4 near mint from that further down. And then anything from an X-Men 100 down, from there, sevens. But the closer I get further down, fives, fours, that's not an issue. But it is tough.
Yeah.
And I think the comics that are really, really hard to get in high grade are the ones that hold its value, like the Fantastic Fours, Old Numbers, Amazing Spider-Mans.
Yep.
They hold their value so high. And if you just get like sevens and those, you'll be surprised the price.
Oh yeah,
very high, even though it's a 7.0 books, and you're like, wow, that's how much it costs. That's a big difference.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
A huge difference.
Yeah, that's my largest run of graded books is that X-Men run, the Chris Claremont run, and from 94 to 143, I have every issue. I am missing about 5. I want to say 5 issues that need to get graded. They're the only ones that are raw. Everything else is graded with I want to say 90% of them are 9.6s or above. A few of them, the 94 is like an 8.5. I have 101 that's a 7.5. And a couple other ones I think that are like a 9.2 or something like that. But for the most part, they're all either 9.6s or 9.8s of that entire run.
I got my X-Men 100 also. I mean 101. There's no way I'm gonna get a 9.4 in that. So I got whatever I got. I got I think a 7.0 or 7.5 or something like that. I'm checking it now. I keep my graded books on cover price.
Okay.
And I keep my raw books on my CLZ on my phone. That's how I keep them separated. I tell you right now. Hold on a second. Yeah, and with the 101, and there's no way I'm gonna get a 9.4, but I'm happy with my 7.0.
Yep.
What I'm really pissed off at is my X-Men 102. I would like to get that book in a 9.4, and I got a 7.5.
Okay.
And I'm one book away of getting at least have a copy of every X-Men from 100 all the way up. I mean, I should say 100 to 200. Let's put it that way. And that's issue 107.
Okay.
I don't have a 107.
107.
I don't have a book. I don't have that book. The 107 is the only book left that I do not have.
Okay.
Yeah. But from there, I've been lucky. I bought some raw books on the X-Men, and they came back not only 9.4s, but some of them came back 9.6s.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
I was
107 is
like,
what, like the it's like a purple cover, right? Like,
yeah, I don't have the book,
yeah,
so I was so upset. I was like, but there's another book I got that's a 9.0, which I don't have a 9.4 either. But I bought the 9.0 because I didn't have that book. So I
yep.
see it, at least I got the book, even though it's not a 9.4, but it's a 9.0. And that's issue 109.
Okay.
So if I can upgrade it, get rid of that's cool. You know, but
All right.
X-Men 100, I got a copy, but it's a Pence variant.
Okay.
And
Yep.
it's only a 6.0, but
Depends.
it's a Pence. So
Yep.
Pence are tough, man, to get high grade. You try to find books, 9.4s and anything, but you try to find a Pence cover
Yeah.
that's a decent grade. That's even
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah. Those are tough.
Really tough.
All right. So we've been on for, well, I've been on for an hour and 15 minutes, but
I was
yeah,
like
man.
driving. I'm like, driving along. I'm like, I'm trying to get there,
Nah, it's cool, man. Appreciate you hopping on me, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, let people know what's your next thing going on, man.
Well, I don't know. To tell you the truth, hopefully I could try to do an auction. I don't know if it's gonna be this Saturday or next Saturday. So stay tuned for that. Again, I have my C2E2 shipment coming in. If I remember, it's 6 books. It's only 2 different artists. One artist signed 3, the other artist signed the other 3. One of the artists I already have books from him. I just, decided to get a couple more.
Mm-hmm.
The other artist, I don't have one book signed by him, so it was great to meet him and get some books signed. And and June's coming around the corner. I'm going to Heroes Con. I'll be in Charlotte, North Carolina. And that's about it, man. Do some unboxings. I have a free giveaway. Whoever's going to Heroes Con, check that out. Giving away something. You have to go to Heroes Con. If you're not going to Heroes Con, don't even bother entering. But they're also doing a free giveaway also. So you want to enter on that one, follow the rules, enter on that. And also we're doing giveaways when Spidey Power Tumblers gets to 450 subs, I believe.
Okay.
He's almost there. I think he's like 2 away. And that'd be some nice giveaways. Get something personalized, a tumbler or a coffee mug or a knife or whatever he can. Usually nice giveaways. So check out the channel, man. There's a lot of things going on, man. A lot of things going on. And I don't know if you said anything, but we lost a YouTube channel member, passed away recently at a very young age. We know he had some health here and there, but it was still sudden. So rest in peace, Chad RCG. Too bad I didn't get a chance to meet him, but he's been here in the Cat's Lair auctions before. Very nice guy. Gonna miss him truly. And we used to have a lot of fun. He was a great guy. And again, life's too short, bro. So enjoy.
Absolutely,
that's one of the reasons why. Not just that, but we've been losing a lot of YouTubers in the last couple of years. And I decided to go not only to different states, to go to different continents to meet a lot of different people. And that's the reason why I did at Heroes Con giveaways, because if you do win that and you have to pick it up from me, you get to meet me and I actually hand it to you. And I did that for C2E2. I did it last year. All the cons I went to, a lot of giveaways, and I met a lot of people. And I'm trying to go to different states and different cons, just for hunting purposes, but also to meet a lot of people.
Absolutely.
I've been meeting a lot of people everywhere I go. I've been to Baltimore, been to North Carolina, went to MegaCon of Florida, Little Giants in New Hampshire, C2E2 in Chicago, Terrific Con in Connecticut. I've been all over the place. And I'm trying to do Dallas Con or Texas. I heard there's somewhere, of course, the West Coast. Guys, I don't think I'll ever make San Diego, but there's a bunch of other small cons that guys promote out there, and they look like great shows. And I don't mind those type of, because you never know what you find. And so again, that's one of the reasons why before I get too old to go out and travel, I'm out there doing my thing, and I'm enjoying myself. It's such a great place, to go and meet people. It's awesome, man. So
Gino,
What's going on?
Yeah, we're actually just finishing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, absolutely, man. That was one of the things too. Like, meeting you in person for the first time was awesome at C2E2, and just that's one of the things that I love the most about going to the cons now is the YouTube community has gotten so much bigger. A lot more people collaborating, and being able to actually go to these cons now and actually meeting up. When before you went to a con, it was just like, okay, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna do some digging, I'm not talking to anybody, I'm just gonna do my thing and I'm getting the hell out of here. Whereas now it's like it's an actual like community meetup, right? Like you actually meet people, you hang out, you guys talk, and it's cool to have that, because a lot of times in this community, you normally don't have somebody in like your immediate circle that loves comics like you do, right? I mean, you might have one or two people here and there, but for the most part, we're kind of secluded, right? We kind of talk to each other, and then you get excited when somebody says something, then you start bringing up all these comic book things, and then they're like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, I just watched the movies, I don't know anything about that. And you're like, oh. So like having this community here and being able to talk to each other when you see in person, it's a big thing.
We get together depending where you're at. Sometimes we'll have like lunch at the con. We'll all sit together and talk this and. But then sometimes, like we go to cons and we go out to dinner after the con. We all get together. We go somewhere. We've done it at Baltimore, and I did it at Heroes Con. And definitely gonna do it again at Heroes Con. They got like a big group chat that's gonna go. There's gonna be a lot of people. And it's a lot of fun, because it's not about comics. After, you're done hunting and then you're relaxing. You're at a table, all eating, having a good time. We start talking and you're having a good old time, meeting everybody, and taking photos and stuff like that. It's memories, you know what I'm saying? It's good times, and everybody's in a happy mood, even though everybody's spending money. But it's just having a good time, enjoying life. That's the whole point,
Exactly.
And it's a lot of fun. I tried to go to Toronto Con, that didn't work out, but hopefully I can do that. I like to go there and check that out, but it's so expensive.
Yeah.
To rent rooms up there, jeez, you really got to pay a lot of money. So, and you stay tuned, man. You never know. I might swing by one day somewhere.
There you go.
He was doing it on the bus. He's going state to state, so you get to see him. I met him at MegaCon for the first time. Again, you meet a lot of people. You meet a lot of people. And there's some people that I talk to on a regular basis that I like to meet up, eventually, be nice. And that's it, man. I hope everybody out there enjoys this hobby, man, because it's great.
Awesome, man. Hell yeah. It's a great hobby, great people, man. And, just, I tell people all the time, just try to stay positive. I know, things can get crazy, whatever it is, but just try to stay positive, stay away from the negativity. There's no room for it, man. Like you said, life's too short for that. Just have a good time, enjoy life, enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, and just enjoy it while you're here, man. That's what we're here for.
Watch
right?
yourself at cons, because there are scammers. Did you hear about the guy that lost a $20,000 book?
Yeah. Like,
and there's people breaking into LCSs. There's mad people. It's bad. So you got to watch yourself. You really have to watch yourself. I mean, there's bad people out there, man. Whenever there's money and the people know they got money, they're gonna try to scam you out. But be aware, Brian. Be aware.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody who was in the chat. Definitely appreciate you guys, man. Without
hit that like button, man. Come on, man. Give it up for Lois, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. But like I said, everybody in the chat, I appreciate you guys spending any time. If you was here from the beginning to the end, or if you were here for 5 seconds, it doesn't matter. Appreciate you stopping by and just showing some love. Thank you for Pat BLC. Appreciate you coming by, man. Like I said, this community is great, and it's just fun just being able to talk, right? I know any comic book show or collaboration, we could talk for 4 or 5 hours about comics, and it is what it is, right? I know my wife is always like, oh my God, how the hell can you talk so long about this? Like, because we love it. That's why.
With me, it's not just comics, man. You got Funkos, you got baseball cards, you got action figures.
Yes, sir.
I talk about almost anything. They got Pokemon cards, and it's like never ending.
It's so much. It's so much.
That's it.
All right, y'all. So, like I said, thank you for everybody being here. I appreciate you guys, and stick around. We got some more stuff coming up, some more unboxings, and thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you. Until next time, y'all. Peace.